Good morning, everyone. And I would like to thank Fahim, Rahman, and his team for having me here. I mean, they're doing great job in terms of taking these conferences in different states, as Ravi sir also mentioned, right? That in every conference we do hear some new things, right? While we know few things, but we always hear new things, right? See, I would also kind of request all panelists and everyone today that please share what you are learning, right? One is because if you look at I mean there are a lot of voices and there are equal amount of noises as well, right? In terms of there's a more talk than action in my view. I mean, we never have been in the situation, if you look at last 20 years in digital transformation for government, that's so much of discussion happening on a one subject, right? And obviously we are kind of overwhelmed, I would say, with choices what we need to do. So a lot of debates, right, in terms of like in terms of what can be done with AI, and a lot of concerns like hallucination, biases, job loss, so and so forth. But if you peel the onion, right, you will realize that it's not single bullet, right? AI can help you in different ways, a lot of personal efficiencies, a lot of, tools which are harmless. There are hardly any chance of hallucination, right? Now tell me, most of the people, most of all of us, right, are using, the likes of Chat GPT and Gemini and all. Nobody is suing them, right, for hallucination that, right? This has happened because of you, right? And if you look at on a personal side in terms of number of people in India, the way they are growing using these tools, but let me tell you, and I like sometimes we believe in the government that commercial sector is far, far ahead in terms of AI implementation. The way we have done our own research at Deloitte, they are not. Right. So they are also kind of grappling with the same challenges in terms of, a lot of choices what we need to do. So I think we need to kind of understand and, understand different models of AI. It's not one AI, right? Gen AI is different conversational AI. Then, AI ML models used to run. Now maybe we have forgotten them now because everything is around Gen AI only. There are a lot of AI which can work on your laptop also, on a CPUs also. You don't need GPUs for everything. But for you to implement, I think you need to understand the problem statement better, right? So that we can implement. And rightly pointed out that in government, whether you have to buy pen, pencil, or you still have a same process, right? In terms of bots and everything. There are enough models, but then you got to be a bit open in that, right? Now, if you look at, the lot of talk about AI race, whether we have lost another technology race, whether we are the country of tweakers only who can work on something, we cannot innovate, right? So, partially true also, right? In terms of what we don't have, right? Kind of, the infra what China has, kind of the models what US has, right? We don't have. But then we a lot of Chinese models coming, but for those are touch me not models for us, right? At least from a government point of view. We have our own sovereign concerns. We have our own geopolitical concerns, right? The way things are going, we have to have a system which has 100% survivability, irrespective of everything. So if you look at, in my view, it's a balanced approach. There are views people are saying you don't worry about the models and everything. We just have to use them, right? Eventually, the people who use them get the maximum benefit. But then something called, minimum deterrent, credible deterrent, right? Sovereign concerns also. So I think we need to also celebrate our innovators. Like there are a lot of models in place and working place. I would say around 9+3 what MITI has funded. I'm sure there are many more others. So what we need to do, instead of, I also see a lot of people rush to criticize, right? Our models are no match to them, in terms of that. But the point is, may not be matched to them, but do you need that all the time? Do you need to match them, right? Because you're not solving that problem which they're solving, perhaps, right? They are taking this so global, they have critical need, they have huge kind of base. Their commercial models are different. So I don't need that, to compare every time. Like armed forces, we'll have LCAs also, we'll have Rafale also, right? We'll have other things also. So I think we also should look at that way that, let's not be very critical about ourselves, whether we have lost it or not. Eventually, don't forget that, right? Like, UK does not have the credible ID, but we have. Right? And it's not that, we could not scale. We have built those systems like UPIs and others. So, I'm with my 20 years with government, I'm pretty sure that, we can tame this too, right? So also, do not, as I said, wait for a perfect AI, right? So sometimes maybe we are looking at a one-time deal, right? So we'll take a lot of time in terms of conceptualizing, defining everything because of one-time procurement. No, I mean, we have, for in a digital transformation, we have moved from projects to projects, product to product, right? In terms of transitions and migration. So I think same way, we need to look at AI also. I mean, we can do something tomorrow. If model has to be changed, we can change that model, right? It's not a one-time deal that, I got, fixated with this for next 10 years or decade or 2 decades, right? So I think there are a lot of things which we can do that, right? And while commercial sector, a lot of industry colleagues, right? I mean, a lot of, firms are pivoting towards AI. They are, creating AI solutions. They will do what they have to do, right? But academia will do what they have to do. They will help in terms of skilling people, right? Innovators do what they have to do. There will always be few. But we cannot undermine the role of government, not only for their own implementation, for the ecosystem which will develop, right? So commercial sectors can do hundreds of things, but they can never scale like government, right? They can never provide the ecosystem for everyone to use, like, what, as again I've said, like, FASTag, like, other DPGs, look at UPI, Aadhaar, this entire digital ID, KYC, how we have managed that so well, right? So I think that government can manage, right? So, and we have to have a bigger aim, right? So we have to move from pilot to production, right? So there has never been a rush to do AI, but then, you should not limit your ambitions that, we are rushing only for a pilots and just tick in the box, right? So we have to have a bigger ambitions, right, in terms of going to production level, and let's not start and stop, just because, you don't get the desired result, right? I mean, there are enough and many checks and balance in terms of ensuring that there is a trustworthy AI, there is a human in the loop, a lot of things you can do. See, now simple thing is like preparing a bot, right, for website. So who has the onus? Citizen, right? You are saying I am giving you a tool to fill your form, but the end of the form, I am populating all field from your own CV or your own document. It is for you to verify. So where is the challenge, right? In terms of regulatory challenge also, because it's for citizens to verify, right? Only thing we are helping them in terms of, instead of you filling the whole form for 10-20 minutes, I am helping you do in 2 minutes. So I think some of these things we need to see. So that's what I would like to, I try to set the context for the day so that, we learn from practical experiences, we learn from different models, techniques, and different ways of procurement also, very important for a government, right? So that we can also do faster and better, right? Rather than, we should not take 6 months for a same RFP, for a AI also, for a ERP also. So there has to be a better way of, using paper, go and different things. So that's all I wanted to say in terms of, right, so that, we kind of, move ahead and, beyond, discussion, we should, quickly get into implementation. Thank you. Thank you very much.